We'll look at how Far Eastern Memorial Hospital established dedicated wards for COVID-19 patients. Malaysia City volunteers donated medical supplies and care packages to medical workers. Welcome to Diet Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. During the Level 3 alert, Taiwan's medical system was heavily impacted because there were not enough wards for patients. As a result, dedicated wards were created to solve this problem. For Far Eastern Memorial Hospital, they were concerned about the team as it was built within 3 days. The nurses from the team work in the orthopedic department, but now they have to be at the Department of Internal Medicine, working with higher stress.
真的，大哥大姐那时候疫情的时候，其实就是非常帮忙我们单位，然后也很能够配合我们单位一些政策的推广。
The scene here represents the daily life of medical workers at Far Eastern Memorial Hospital. On the night of May 17th, the hospital decided to transform the orthopedic department.
我们接收到指示的时候
When we received the notification, it was on May 17th, around 7 or 8 p.m.
大概7、8点的事情了。
As the medical system was exhausted, the hospital transformed the orthopedic department into a COVID-dedicated ward. On the 17th, the announcement was made, and within 3 days, a team of 29 nurses' job description changed.
所有的医护人员呢，护理师，通通转型。
Every medical worker and nurses, they have become nurses taking care of patients at dedicated wards. They have crossed departments to provide full care to patients in need.
就是义无反顾的去承接这样的一个病人，从外科系转变成内科系。
At the toughest of times, Huang Xingyi didn't panic as she took on most of the responsibilities. She knew that against the life-threatening virus, nurses have no excuses to back out.
这段时间其实我没有所谓的下班时间。
For a certain amount of time, there wasn't a time to get off work. We also didn't have a concept of time. All I knew was when patients were coming in, we were working 24 hours a day.
24小时。
A nurse for 20 years, Huang Xingyi has already seen a lot. After experiencing the past 41 days, she became emotional upon talking about her colleagues.
一个都不能少。
We cannot afford to lose a nurse. The pressure was on. And when I thought of when it started, we have 28 families to protect.
你回想到当时，一个都不能少，其实这是28个家庭。
Though the 70 ward has 29 nursing staff, every time when Huang Xingyi talks about the number of nurses, she often forgets about herself as she puts others at a higher priority.
其实同仁都知道，我把他们看得比什么都重要。
Actually, my colleagues know that I treat them way better than myself, so I often forget myself in there because I want to take care of everyone.
我有照顾好大家。
The head nurse is actually a serious person. She prepares us fully and also guides us to build a strong mentality.
Huang Xingyi has 2 daughters, and after helping at the dedicated wards, she hardly ever returned home as she drew a clear line between family and work.
我有2个宝贝，然后对我。
I have 2 babies. Yes, actually, I'm thankful to my family members. They support me fully, though I put work first, and that I have multiple roles in life.
有家庭，然后其实身兼很多角色。
From one department to another, nurses must react and adapt fast, though the hard-working ones aren't just medical workers. 16 wards are disinfected by these 2 cleaning crew, and to be able to retreat from the frightening virus, these hospital janitors are thankful to nurses. If the nurse didn't teach us about cleaning and disinfection, we would have probably contracted the virus. She has taught us a lot on how to protect ourselves.
而且他们2个其实，如果回到他们清洁的团队里面，他们是绝对足以可以去承担当那个防疫的小尖兵。
As of now, the pandemic has slowed down as the dedicated wards closed, allowing the Department of Orthopedics to resume work. Though only 2 quarantine wards are left, doctors and nurses are still fully prepared against the virus. No matter how frightening COVID-19 is, these nurses at the 70 ward are experienced as they have gone through the toughest of times. Now they are strong like a family.
New Taipei City's Sanchongjing Hall is now a vaccination station. Last week, the weather was extremely hot in Taiwan, so the volunteers not only added extra fans and water to cool temperatures, but they also added a misting system.
The previous cooling system was ice cubes in front of the fan, but on this day it is being upgraded. Tzu Chi volunteers climb into the water tank to thoroughly clean it, as the misting system needs clean water, while the pressure motor is also installed.
The pipe has been installed on top of the tent frame, so when we install this misting head, then when the misting head function starts, the water will mist out from the top.
Installing a misting system helps to cool down those underneath the tent. The Sanchongjing Hall is now a vaccination station and continues to help keep the healthcare workers cool during these hot summer days. A tea vendor brought over beverages which included cards filled with words of encouragement.
The card was my sister's idea. She thought if everyone wrote a card and attached it, then the person who receives the drink will be moved. Because I don't know you, but I thank you for your service.
The cycle of love goes around and around. Tzu Chi volunteers have prepared face shields for the employees of a produce company.
This face shield is very much needed by our company right now, so thank you very much for this gift. As residents slowly return to consumer market, safety and precaution is still needed.
During the pandemic, city volunteers from Beitun and Hanzi in Taichung took turns to go to Xintian Liaison Office to prepare vegetarian lunchboxes. These lunchboxes are for the hardworking medical staff of Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital. Each lunchbox comes with a blessing sticker. This sticker was personally designed by a city volunteer to cheer the medical staff.
Volunteers are busy in the kitchen, cooking delicious dishes. After the dishes are packed in the lunchbox, they put a blessing sticker on it. They are grateful to the medical staff for their fearless dedication.
The pandemic is really serious. The doctors and nurses at Tzu Chi Hospital are really working hard. I watched the master's teaching on .itv, and the master said that we must tell them that you have to work hard and hang on. It's these words, so I felt that it should be turned into concrete actions.
Tzu Chi volunteer Lai Meiru used her spare time to design 5 blessing stickers. She runs a photography design company, and this time she used her profession to contribute.
Put the stickers on the lunchbox and let them have warmth in their hearts when they have lunch. I can't go out to be a volunteer, but I use my hands to cheer up the doctors and nurses. So I feel very happy in my heart.
Seeing this sticker, I feel full of love and very cared for.
During the pandemic, the gratitude and warmth to the frontline medical staff become their strength to hang on.
During the pandemic period, many seniors have sought medical treatment at gastroenterology department. The reason is that during the pandemic period, they stay home and stop exercising. As a result, their appetite has deteriorated and they develop constipation. Let's learn from the doctors about exercise and massage you can do at home to improve your digestive functions. Staying at home due to the pandemic, many people have gained weight. Some people, including many seniors, have also developed digestive problems and need to seek medical attention.
During the pandemic period, I did not go out and I exercised less. As a result, my digestive system would become weak, leading to constipation.
Many patients are between 60 to 70 years old. They had exercise habits before, but after the third-level alert was implemented, they stopped exercising. As a result, their digestion slowed down, and they had poor appetite and even constipation. Besides taking medications, there are also exercises suitable for seniors.
Lift your knee to at least 90 degrees and hold it for at least 15 minutes a day. If seniors cannot stand steadily, he can hold onto something with one hand.
Meanwhile, seniors can also massage their pressure points to improve digestive functions.
This is the tibia. At the position above the tibia-stented point, you can press and massage this point and do it slowly.
在按压的过程当中需要缓慢。
In terms of food, hawthorn, plums, and malt can improve one's digestive functions. Multigrain rice, oatmeal, celery, pumpkin, and cauliflower have a lot of fiber and can strengthen one's digestive organs. These are good choices of food in the pandemic period. To alleviate the pandemic's impact in Malaysia, city volunteers donated needed medical equipment. In addition, they also prepared care packages for the medical workers. In response, the nurses at a local hospital donated bamboo coin banks to repay Tzu Chi.
Tzu Chi volunteers prepare care packages for the healthcare workers at the Serbayang Jaya Hospital in Serbayang Praya, Malaysia. Tzu Chi is also working with the hospital to offer support for the healthcare workers should they need assistance. All they have to do is scan their phone, and Tzu Chi will immediately send help and assistance.
Right. So this is the QR code that we provide in our ICU. So anything that we scan and direct to you lah.
We can feel how hard these frontline healthcare workers have it. Their job is really tough.
这只是一个慰问与关怀呢，希望说这样子的一个小小的一个动作呢。
Our gesture is merely a small offering to show them we care, so they may be encouraged by it and have the strength to keep going to take care of these confirmed COVID patients.
Tzu Chi's footsteps continue after understanding the needs of the hospital. The volunteers returned a month later to donate the supplies they needed.
This time, most of the COVID hospital already full, but we need to continue the treatment here also. So we're waiting for them to be transferred. They might take some time, and we need all this kind of materials, all this kind of asset to support the treatment, even though for COVID patient, while waiting for the transfer to other hospital.
The day Tzu Chi came, the nurses returned bamboo coin banks filled with donations.
We have placed it in the ICU and we remind people who want to donate with all of their love.
Teo Yen Lin, a pediatrician at this hospital, is also a team member. She naturally became the bridge to bringing Tzu Chi volunteers and the hospital together.
In the past, I didn't know how to introduce Tzu Chi to the hospital. I only passed it on to friends of mine. However, thanks to this opportunity, I can introduce some of Tzu Chi's missions into the hospital, such as small donations make a difference and vegetarianism. In Indonesia, to speed up the speed of COVID vaccinations, Taiwan government has arranged for medical staff to go to some seniors' homes to provide vaccinations. This way, residents with mobility issues can also receive vaccination shots. To speed up the speed of COVID vaccinations, recently Taiwan government has arranged for medical staff to go to residents' homes in communities and provide vaccination shots. Working with 38 community health centers in 13 cities, the medical team is providing vaccinations to seniors and residents with mobility issues, according to the roster provided by the street chiefs. The local health bureau has been carrying out this mission since May, and it is very helpful for seniors who cannot go out.
In fact, we provide vaccinations at the community health stations.
Posyandu itu kan minimal kita buka vaksin itu 20 ya. Jadi nanti pada saat sudah
After the service has been provided, we will ask the local village chiefs.
Kita akan sweeping kerjasama dengan kader ya, lansia mana yang memang
which seniors have not come to get vaccinations because of their mobility issues.
Karena keterbatasan gerak ya, entah karena memang belum paham fungsi vaksin itu sendiri.
As the medical staff go to residents' homes to provide vaccinations, the seniors who live in remote regions no longer have to take risks to go out.
I'm very grateful the doctors come to our homes to vaccinate us. In fact, I want to get vaccinated, but the journey is too long. I'm very grateful that today the doctors have visited me to provide vaccination.
I really appreciate it. I am old, so I have some mobility issues and cannot walk for very long. It is time-consuming and tiring for me to go to a health center, so I appreciate the doctors for coming to my house to provide vaccination.
With the medical staff effort, more than 23,000 seniors have received 2 doses of vaccination shots. They account for 19.68% of seniors in Tangerang. In Indonesia, the Jakarta government initiated a large-scale COVID-19 vaccination plan, providing vaccines to adults over the age of 18. The government has also increased the rate of vaccinations at locations with high population density.
The government of Jakarta initiated a large-scale vaccination plan, focusing on the regions with high population density. Citizens above the age of 18 may register to vaccinate. The Jakarta Health Bureau plans to provide AstraZeneca vaccinations to seniors, workers in service industries, and citizens above the age of 18. In central Jakarta, Sawat Besar Health Center has become a vaccination station. The health center's superintendent says that after the notification from the Jakarta Health Bureau, the center started to provide vaccinations to citizens from 5 local villages.
Jadi memang ini sudah berlangsung hampir 1 bulan ya tepatnya. Memang pemerintah DKI menyasar.
We have provided vaccination services for a month. This is in accordance to the Health Bureau's plan, because before Eid al-Fitr, the Jakarta provincial government started to vaccinate residents in slums. Why slums?
Terlebih dahulu adalah memang karena mereka lebih berisiko tinggi dibandingkan dengan wilayah lainnya seperti kita ketahui.
It's because slums has a higher rate of infection, according to my knowledge. Besides the high population density, the narrow spaces and the high migration rate is also an issue.
Penduduknya lebih padat dan jarak-jaraknya rumahnya sempit gitu, dan mereka juga mobilitasnya tinggi.
Before vaccination, residents need to register their information along with verifying their names into the official system. Afterwards, they will have to pass a body check and a series of questionnaire. The process makes sure if the resident fits the criteria to receive vaccinations. Residents have to remain at the waiting area for 30 minutes after the vaccination process. After the first vaccination, residents have to wait 12 weeks before the second shot of vaccine. Though residents have received their first shot, they still have to strictly obey COVID prevention measures.
Untuk program
We use AstraZeneca vaccines here, and the duration between the first and second vaccination is 12 weeks.
Dosis pertama dengan kedua berjarak 12 minggu.
There are a total of 445 highly populated areas included in the Jakarta provincial government's vaccination plan, and in order to increase the rate of vaccination, the government aims to provide vaccinations to 76,000 people per day.
It is not an exaggeration to say this year's graduates are special. Classes were suddenly suspended in mid-May, and in the 3rd level COVID alert led to further postponement. After a month of online teaching, even the graduation ceremony was online. Although it is not as lively as before, teachers put more effort behind the scenes. The online graduation ceremony is to give students the last and most important class during the pandemic.
Li Zechuan, a 6th grade graduate, is a Taiwanese cross-skipping record holder, completing 132 times in 1 minute. He is also the winner of the 2021 Presidential Education Award.
Practice hard and focus.
Zechuan grew up in a single-parent family. In order to keep his mother from worrying, he mostly looked after himself for 6 years in elementary school.
Sometimes my mother would cry secretly in the quilt after we all fell asleep. She didn't want to wake us, so in order to make my mom feel happy, I must try my best to do everything seriously.
As his mother is always busy with work, she cannot stay with him every day. But this day is a big day. The mother and child pair sit side by side and participate in the graduation ceremony in their living room.
109学年度毕业典礼，典礼开始。
Cannot say goodbye to everyone face to face.
互道珍重，再见。
因为新冠肺炎的关系来搅局。
也在思考说，到底
We need to think how to operate the actual live broadcast.
实际转播的方式。
To teachers, students graduate every year, but to children, elementary graduation only happens once in a lifetime. So the school decided to make necessary changes seriously.
We feel that suspension of graduation ceremony is a pity for the students.
To leave students a fond memory so that teachers can provide children with the last and most important lesson.
There has never been an online graduation ceremony. The teachers could not sleep well for several nights, trying to think of ways to make every session perfect.
The future may be like this pandemic, which may not always be successful, but we can still prepare mindfully.
还有永远练不完的篮球与跳绳。
谢谢你们大家6年的陪伴。
但最不容易的地方是小朋友。
The most difficult thing is that we can't get in touch with some of the children. In fact, children won't access the internet always, and their network equipment may be very scarce.
The teachers have put much efforts in making this video clip. Each graduate needed to write a word and take a picture to send back. From design, contact, and urging students to submit files, every little detail is not easy.
It is an experience for everyone, and it is a very valuable experience.
The final presentation was what the teachers would like to teach the students, the attitude of dealing with matters. To face the future, they must do the best preparation, but be prepared for the worst.
Like the pictures they took are also a mess. Some are straight, some are very dim, and some are very blurry. I just fixed them one by one. I still want to show them the best every year.
I think the teacher is very diligent. Even if there is no face-to-face graduation ceremony, there is still a process for children to participate. Ask them to do something and then combine all into a video.
Unprecedentedly, grade 6 students graduate so peacefully, while the grade 1 to grade 5 classrooms also have a completely different scenery from the past.
In these empty classrooms, students are absent. Only teachers are left to speak to the camera. We have never encountered such a situation before. The new teaching methods is common learning lesson for all teachers and students across Taiwan.
I think the internet breaks many boundaries and space limits. In the beginning, I didn't get used to it, as there was no interaction with students.
Teachers can only meet the students through the screen, although they miss the students very much.
This is very strange. Sometimes when they are noisy, I will get angry, but it's a kind of our daily life.
Daily life is no longer taken for granted. This is a valuable lesson taught by the pandemic.
In Indonesia, Taiwan volunteers have distributed aid supplies to residents affected by a fire accident in Jakarta. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.